This is Evening from Nigeria. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So you all, depending on the time frame you are joining us in. It's such a wonderful moment to be here tonight, and I'm so sure it's an exciting moment for everyone and an educating moment because yes, so many questions will be answered and so many doubts will be cleared. So for as many who are excited to learn as I am, I would just want us to do something quickly from within the chat box, just do something, send in your name and your location. Basically, my name is Abosede Kafila. From Lagos, Nigeria, you're joining us from Accra, Ghana, or you're joining us from Sierra Leone, wherever it is, let's just know. Okay. Yeah, very correct. I can see you from Osho State. You can see Dari from joining from Abeokuta, Nigeria. I can see Peter from Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. Yeah. And please let's keep it going. From the UK, Fermi from Ibadan. I hope I didn't omit it. Oh, sorry. Chidima from Enugu. I can see Ehis from Lagos, Nigeria. I think I mentioned Makinde from Ibadan earlier on. Wow, so let's keep it coming in. Let's know Daniel from Enugu. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome to you all. At 7:05 on dot, we're going to go into the business of today. Just get to know everyone who is here with us tonight. Akintunde from Lagos. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you too. Okay, yeah, so this is 7:05. My time is right 19:05, so I'm thinking 9:05. This is 7:05, and we're going into the business as it has been established. So the basic reason we're here tonight is to get answers as regarding questions on the US scholarship and application process, particularly for fall 2025. And this is basically for those in it's STEM together with MBA, that is the Masters in Business Administration. We apologize to those who are in the arts. It's not as though we don't like you people or we do not want to answer your questions, but we're taking it gradually.
Is there any provision for anybody that wants to get a bachelor scholarship?
We have two seasoned speakers who will be attending to all of our questions tonight. So don't get further. Whatever your question is, rest assured.
Hi, Kafilat. I think someone asked a question, and I think you might be breaking up just a little bit because of your network. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I'm getting so as well too.
You
I
can.
think our network is pretty bad. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Vicky, can you hear me as well?
Yeah, I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you, but
Yeah.
Boston's network seems to be breaking in and out. So I think she missed a question from someone in the audience. So
Yeah. So I was trying to, give a response to that in the chat. So Kathy, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great, that's it. So your network was, breaking at some point. So anyway, for the answer to that question, yes, you're going to get, answers to those questions as well. So just, yeah, stay calm. Then yeah, rest assured you get answers. So just all right. Thank you. All
All
right,
right, thank
go
you
ahead,
for.
Kathy.
Okay, about sharing. The first person we have tonight is, I hope everyone can still hear me. Sorry about the break, my network issue. We have Kehinde Bosiko, and I'm just going to read out his bio to us. Kehinde Bosiko is a geoscientist who is passionate about the environment and hydrology. He had his bachelor's degree in geology from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. Additionally, he obtained his master's degree in geology from Kansas State University, USA, where he researched on the analysis of extreme temperature events across the contiguous United States, employing complex network theory from statistical physics. Presently, he's pursuing his PhD in environmental engineering at the
Oh
University
yeah, I'm not
of
listening now.
Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC. So that's it for one of our speakers, and the other person tonight. I'm sorry. Yes, our second speaker tonight is Miss Victoria C. Ubo. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. So Miss Victoria is an MBA graduate from Kenan Flagler Business School, where she served as VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and as a student ambassador. She mentors students interested in consulting, working on over 60 cases. Currently, she is a consultant at McKinsey and Company. Victoria is here to share insights on the MBA admission process, maximizing the business school experience, and transitioning into a consulting career. I believe our speakers deserve a wonderful round of applause. Please, let's cheer them up with a round of applause. Before we go into the question and answer session, I just want to give our speakers about 10 minutes each to just talk generally to us about the admission process and what it feels like to be studying in a school outside Nigeria, basically, and what it takes to really do or to really achieve, yes, the feat that they have achieved. And we'd like everyone to have their mics on mute so that we can have a seamless communication process. We will not want a situation where there will be noise from that one person or another person. That way, we won't get to enjoy what we're here for tonight. So please, everyone, kindly mute your mic except you are given the permission to speak. And if you want to speak, just signify with a raise of hand. And as is the normal order, we'll say ladies first. So I would like to pass the mic over to Ms. Victoria as she talks to us in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And please start preparing your questions. The format of the question is you're going to signify with a raise of hand and you'll be allowed to ask your question verbally. If you're too shy to ask your question verbally, don't worry, you can type it. There's no problem about that. So, Ms. Victoria, over to you, ma'am.
hi everyone.
All right.
Before we get
Hello,
started,
hello, Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Can Vicky hear me?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm so sorry. You're gonna come up now. But I just like to say that Kenny did drop a text to me few hours ago that he has a conference that he has to attend, and that he will not be able to make it. That's Kenny the second speaker. But we have another person who's going to be helping us out in person of Oluwatobi Loba Ayewumi. He's a friend of mine from Thailand. Yeah, don't worry, Taffy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I have this figured out. So I'm just going to help you out. Maybe we're going to be comparing this together, right? So Oluwatobi Ayewumi is a friend of mine. Like, we went to Thailand University of Education together. We also, we did physics together, and he finished from my school, North Carolina Central University. And if it weren't for Toby, I most likely would not be US today. So, but anyway, Toby's also going to, be joining Vicky to, answer some of the questions, share experiences that's going to make, this whole journey seamless and, smooth, if that's the word. Yeah. So, Vicky, so sorry to, um, interrupt you. So you can please go ahead now. Thank you so much, Vicky. I'm so grateful that you came around.
Of course. Hi, everyone. I'm really great to be here. Kafilat did most of the introductions already, so nothing extraordinary. I think I would just ask everyone to please, if you're not speaking, kindly mute your mics. It can be a bit distracting to just get noise from the sides, and can sort of like get someone's train of thoughts off. So the host can also handle that as well and ensure that everyone is muted who is not speaking. So I came to the US in 2022 to get my MBA. Prior to that, I was in corporate finance for close to 5 years, and I worked with PZ Cousins, Etel, Reckitt before I left Nigeria, and that was sort of like a good foundation to where I wanted to be after business school. And it's helps that I'd been in corporate finance. I did that, and then also had my ICANN as well before I left Nigeria. So I'm a chartered accountant. I'm also a chartered management accountant. So all of this sort of like played into my reasons for wanting to do go into business school and to just change career paths from corporate finance to consulting. For the most part, that's what the business school program sort of helps you with. It's different from having a master's degree. A master's degree is sort of like you getting more into that field and being much more of an expert in that field. But when you do an MBA, it sort of like makes you like a jack of all trades, because you are really looking at all aspects of the business in totality and not just an isolated part of it. And so it just helps you become somebody who is able to I would say participate in every area of business, and allows you to play more in different spaces. And so that helps my recruitment process. I did the round 2 admissions and sort of like put my applications in by January. I wrote the GRE. So I had 3 options basically, to write the GRE, GMAT, or WAVE. I felt the GRE would help my prospects for getting good scholarship allocations. So I wrote that and I scored a 325, I think, I remember correctly. Scores within that range and higher than that are preferred, and most likely will give you good standing with the school that you get at least a substantial funding. So I applied to other schools. I actually sort of like made a mistake. And I say made a mistake in the sense of I restricted myself a bit to applying to just Ivy League schools and much more. And so like restricted my application pool. I feel like I should have widened my prospects more. And I will tell everyone here, please do that. Don't feel like one school is too good or for you to apply to. There's no school that's too good for you to apply to. Spread your wings as much as you can and apply to as many schools as you can afford to. There is, after my GRE scores, schools started sort of like reaching out, because if you write your GRE through ETS, there's a part on the when you're filling out the form that tells you, do you want to share your scores with schools so that they can have access to you. And so from that pool as well, schools also look at people who have good scores, and then they start to like reach out to you as well and just send you like information on their events and all. So that's how I came across Kin and Flagler. To be honest, I wasn't looking for Kin and Flagler. I applied to Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, and the likes. My husband went to Harvard, so I sort of wanted to be in that space as well. So if we, when I did I did Harvard in round 1, but didn't get in. So Stanford, Wharton were my second. I did those in round 2 with McCombs as well in Texas, and then UNC. So UNC was one of those schools that just popped out of the blue, and which is why I'm saying, as much as possible, do your research. Get to know the schools you want to apply to, get to know people there. So once I started seeing UNC in my emails, and then they gave me application fee waiver as well, I'm just like, okay, I'll just put in my application. I mean, it was just to write an essay and all. So I went ahead to also ensure that I was speaking to people as well. I reached out to a couple of Nigerians or Africans who were in the program at the time. And I think representation is also something that really matters when you're studying in the US, living in Nigeria. All we know in Nigeria is being Nigerian, basically. But when you come to the US, it's a different ballgame entirely. And so you need to sort of like understand how that system works. And that's always the point of getting to speak to people before you put in your application, just to hear their perspectives, just to hear what they did, how the process was like for them. Do they enjoy schooling there? Do they think the recruiting prospects were great? I am someone who thinks that having too much information is better than having no information, because with too much information, you can filter what's important to you, what you really want, what you need, and then use it to make decisions. And so after making that, speaking to them, I know I wanted to recruit from consulting. So I wanted to like hear from somebody who had done that successfully through the school. And I spoke to a couple of people who were successful with their recruiting in consulting as well. So that was my like application process. I wrote my essays. To be honest, I wrote my essays like 3 days before the application deadline. Again, don't be like me, don't do that. Do, a lot of research, spend a lot of time in applying and putting in that, doing that process. So I did that and sent in my application. Fortunately, I was able to get an interview. I interviewed with them, got into school, and got around 67 to 68% of my scholarship from them, from Forte, and then another body as well. Forte is one that gives a lot of women scholarship, women in business scholarship. And so the UNC degree is also designated as STEM if you're doing the MBA program. So it allows you to gain 3 years OPT when you finish from school. So you have 3 additional years to work in the United States. And hopefully in that 3 years, you can find an organization that sponsors you with the H-1B process and sort of like go ahead from that to the green card process. So that's currently where I'm sort of in. I will be resuming into consulting in like a few days. So pretty excited about that. I also did my summer internship with McKinsey and Company. So the MBA program runs like that too, that after your first year, you go for a summer internship. If you recruit successfully in first year, you'll be having a summer internship, and then most likely you can guarantee a return offer that gives you like the opportunity to not recruit again in the second year. And then just know that when you're done with school, you're joining this organization. So that's how my trajectory has been so far. Happy to answer any questions that we have. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Tara. That was really awesome. I think I got about 2 to 3 things from everything you said. It's the fact that, one, widen your prospects, yes, and you said it was majorly like initially you were focused on the Ivy League schools, and then you realize along the line you should have widened your prospect, yes, and we should apply to as many schools as possible. And you made mention of the essence of research, or the importance of research in one's endeavor, particularly on the scholarship journey. So thank you so much for that. Yes, we're beginning to have people raise hand for questions. All right, I'm just going to take this question now. Okay, Peter's Crown.
Wait, Kathy.
Wondering, yes, please.
Kathy. Yeah, I was thinking before we start answering everybody's question, perhaps if we can also come around and then like just the same thing that Vicky did. Yeah. Just introduce himself, tell us about, how he was able, yeah, just the whole process. Thank you. And then after
Okay,
that, you can so yeah.
there's no problem about that. Okay, so let me do a brief introduction about this next speaker as is going to just talk to us in 5 to 10 minutes. His full name is Oluwatobiloba Ayewumi. Oh yeah, I think I I pronounced that like a typical Yoruba lady. He graduated from for his bachelor's degree, graduated from Tertiary University of Education, Ogun State, Nigeria, and he has rounded off his MSc program in physics from North Carolina's Central University. Currently, he is proceeding for his PhD in North Carolina A&T. He's someone who loves connecting and networking with people and is an enthusiast of data analysis and real estate. So those of you who are lovers of real estate as well, I feel this is a great time to connect to one of your goons. So I'll just want us to give a round of applause to Oluwatobiloba Ayewumi. I'm trying to pronounce the names in syllables so I can pronounce the name correctly. So, Mr. Oluwatobiloba Ayewumi, you're welcome. Please just share with us in 5 to 10 minutes how this journey has been for you, how you started, and some of the things you learned along the way that you feel. An overview, yes, just an overview of how this has been for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kafilat. And thank you for pronouncing my name very well. They don't do that here. So
Wow.
yeah, I end up telling people just call me Toby. Yeah. And thank you so much, Victoria. That was really good. And congratulations on your work. All right. Thank you, everybody. My name is Oluwatobiloba Ayewumi, but you guys can call me Toby. That's what everybody calls me. Godwin, Smart, and I both went to the same school. We both studied physics at Taishulan University of Education. After my bachelor's, I went to serve just like everybody. And after my service, I had the opportunity of working at InterSwitch in Nigeria. I started as an intern there, and then after that, I was offered a full-time position. I was offered a full-time position there. I was there for like 3 months, but the thing is, along the line, I think the process for my master's degree started while I was in service. I started applying. I started all my applications. Just like Victoria said, my first step was that I did GRE too. I did GRE because I was told that GRE gives you that edge. Same thing I told Smart when he was about to start, when he started applying to come here. Yeah, same thing I told Smart, that GRE is very important. Do not see it as a big deal, like something that is hard. I would advise that because it gives you an edge, not just while you want to do your master's degree, but it also gives you an edge for those of you that would like to, further your degree by getting a PhD. Okay. And I will tell you why after me. So I'm going to rush this. Okay. So after my GRE, yeah, I started applying. I didn't apply to Ivy League schools like Victoria. I didn't even, yeah, I didn't really I didn't know all of those things until I came here to the US, to be honest. Yeah, that's something exposure does to you. There's some things that you find out when you finally get to some space. And I would advise also that you guys should apply to. Don't look at it like it's Harvard. Anybody, to be honest, anybody can go to Harvard. You just have to make sure that you put in the work, and by God's grace, you can definitely go in. So yeah, I had the opportunity. Yeah, I think I applied to 3 schools. I applied to Georgia State University, North Carolina Central University, and Oklahoma State University. Yeah. And then when the first letter came was from Georgia State University, I got the letter saying, "Oh, sorry, we will not be moving on with you. We've gotten the number of students that we wanted." I felt bad a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. But at the same time, I wasn't feeling bad. Why? Because I said I was working. So to me, it was just like, okay, there will always be time for me to do this. But a week after that, and I got an email from North Carolina Central University congratulating me that I've been offered admission. And I was like, wow, okay, I think this is happening. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for my interview. So the thing is, like, when I first got my first email and I got my first I-20, I was not offered a scholarship. So I just went to the embassy, without a scholarship. I went there. They started asking me, like, how are you gonna fund this? What are you gonna do? I didn't have answers to all those questions, and I fumbled. And immediately they told me, sorry, we're not moving on with you. We don't think you're ready, or things like that. I was like, wow, okay. When I got home, I was sad. I was like, this is hard though. Okay. I went home and then I reached
Overcome.
out. I reached out
Overcome.
I reached out to my school. I told them I don't think I'll be coming to the US this time around. I think, yeah, I had to defer my admission that period. I told them that I think I would just be coming because I was supposed to resume the fall of 2022, but I couldn't go. So I had to defer admission to spring of 2020. Sorry, fall of 2021. So I had to defer admission to the spring of 2022. Yeah, I used just one GRE actually to apply. So you have the opportunity, once you write your GRE, you have the opportunity of sending your result to, I think, 3 schools on the spot, the 3 schools that you want your result to go to. And then after that, you have to start paying, for every other school that you want to send your result to. So that's one thing that GRE gives you. So yeah, then after that, sorry, I know my 20 minutes elapsed. I'll just run it up fast. Yeah, then after that, I went back again after
Your
going.
brother said that you.
Oh, someone is
Okay.
talking.
If I thought you were in Hindi. Okay, Hindi. Oh wow. I went to it was. But you see,
Yeah, I think someone is
Chiawa
talking.
Emmanuel, or Godwin, could you sort of like just mute everyone else that is not speaking?
Okay. Yeah, I'll just unmute myself. Yeah. So then after that, I reached out to the school. Then, after I reached out to the school, a few days later, I got an email telling me that, did you know that you have a full scholarship? I was like, full scholarship? I didn't know that. And, they sent me another email telling me you actually have a full scholarship that has covered everything. I was like, wow. It was fun. I didn't even apply for anything, but I came and I was like, okay, I guess this is God telling me it's time to leave. Then I went in for my second interview. When I got there, I wasn't asked any question. The lady just asked me one question, and the question was, "What has changed between your last interview and this interview?" At first I was like, I don't know what has changed. But I started telling her that, yeah, I have more confidence. I know what I'm going to say now. She was like, no, what has changed? And I remember that, oh, okay, I told her that I have a scholarship now. She said, oh, okay. And then she just said, congratulations. And that was it. That moment, I didn't even hear anything anymore. Everything just went blank. I collected the paper. I was like, wow. And then after that, that was how my journey to the United States started. And then, after that, I completed my master's degree. And so I did my master's in physics, which is the same thing I did in my undergrad. But for my PhD, I am switching. I'm switching to data science. So my PhD is I'm gonna be starting my PhD next month, and that is gonna be in computational data science and engineering. Just like Smart said, I want to be a data scientist. Yeah, and the real estate. For now, I'm pausing the real estate. For now, I want to concentrate on data science, which is my next line. And yeah, that is it about me. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you so much for that insightful session. Yeah, so I believe everyone, you've got one or two things that you took from both speakers' brief speeches here. So now we're going to go into the questions proper. I saw somebody's hands, then I think it was Peter's Crown. You are free to take your question now. If you have a question, just signify with a raise of hand. I will allow you to speak. You can speak or you can type your question in the chat box. So it's time for questions.
All right, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Peter's Crown. Okay, you're welcome.
So, first of all, I'm gonna say thank you for this meeting, and thank you, Vicky. I've sent you a connection on LinkedIn. I am a BBA student, BBA graduate rather. I finished December last year, and I have been applying for master's and possibly PhD in the United States. But what happened is that I did my bachelor's degree online in an online university, and I've been trying to apply to schools with their certificates, which most of the schools that I've applied to, some of them do not accept an online degree. Like one of the schools that I applied to was Ohio State University. I actually passed through all their application process. I did their interviews. I submitted my research paper samples for them to see. But at the last, I was interviewed. I was sent an interview, and I was told that the policy of the school is that you must have at least a 3-year degree, a 3 years degree before you can be able to study for MBA in that school. So here's my question. I just wanted to, I'm directing the question to Vicky because, she has the knowledge in MBA and probably has the best links to schools that might actually take in the online degree. So my question is, what are the schools that can actually accept online degrees in the United States for an MBA? So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. So I want Ms. Victoria to first say something about the question, then Mr. Oluwatoblowa can say one or two things too.
Okay, so thanks for the question, Peter. However, I think it's not the correct question because expecting me to do the number of the schools that accept online degrees is quite unrealistic. I possibly can't actually know that. So I would say that one thing I think you should do first is probably do a research on that, Google that is. One thing I, however, know is that schools typically would tell you that, and I think this applies to all the schools that I applied to as well. They tell you that the degree you need to have in terms of like bachelor's has to be like a 3 or more, 3 to 4 year degree. That's like the minimum. So for all the Ivy League schools I applied for, they all had that requirement, and even the ones that were they all had that requirement. So I think what you need to do is, and it might be a very hard conversation to even have, because if you've done like if you've done a 1-year degree that gives you like a BSc, most schools are saying provide me a school that has given you a 3-year degree, and so that might be saying you might have to go back to school and stuff like that. But I do want to believe that there are schools that accept online degrees. The most important thing is really looking for those schools and having like a discussion with them, telling them what your qualifications are and asking them if, so you save yourself the process of having to apply first and then hearing back, just like you had with Ohio State. So the first thing you want to do is figure out, do like a random Google search first, right? And then reach out to these schools just to confirm that what you're saying on Google is actually correct. And they will actually take your online degree. And then from there, go forward, right? That's what I think you should spend your time doing now before making any other additions or or investments into figuring out what school you want to go to. That's how I think you should approach this. I don't know if Toby has something else to.
I don't really know about like online degrees, to be honest, but concerning MBA, so I'm just gonna put it there. I also tried to apply for my MBA after my master's degree. And one thing that the school told me was that because of my background, I haven't taken like some of the required courses for me to pursue an MBA. So I was asked to go and take those classes, register for those classes. Then after taking those classes, then I can apply for an MBA, and definitely I'll get in. So just like Victoria said, maybe you want to like go online. I believe if you go online, there's so many schools in the United States, to be honest. Like make your research, go and look for schools. There are schools that accept. I know some schools, a lot of policies have changed. Some schools convert some degrees that you get online, and they convert it to for you so you can be able to use it. So the thing is that you probably just want to, make um your
Research.
research. Yeah, do a lot of research. Definitely go online, search, use your ChatGPT, everything. And I think you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I think another thing I would say, and this sort of applies to everyone on the call, and I think it's sort of like a problem we sort of also have in Nigeria as well. We don't like doing research. We like hearing from people instead. You have to know that not everybody is correct. There's always a lot of noise. People tell you different things. Sometimes people even tell you things they've not even tried or done yet. And yet they just tell you that it's not going to be possible. The best thing you can do for yourself in this process, and one thing I know also like is extremely important, which I also feel to do at some point, is go online. There's information, loads and loads of information out there. And the great thing about these schools is once you do an email to the admissions committee, 1-2 days they respond to you. They're not like our Nigerian schools. They're pretty excited about getting new students in, so they will respond to you and answer your questions. Where we fail is that we don't ask questions. We just want to hear that, oh, this person has done it. You have to realize that everybody's story is extremely different from yours. Their path, their direction, where they've come from, and everything's extremely different. I remember when I was also doing my visa interview as well, I just went there and just the first time they rejected me nicely, just like Toby. So I had all my info correct and all of that, but there were certain things I should have like known before going to the interview that I didn't really do a lot of research on. So I would just say, as much as possible, make Google your best friend. Search, watch YouTube videos on how people have done it, like, and filter what's important to you and what isn't important to you, right? So extremely important that we do that.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Victoria and Mr.
Yeah.
Toby. Yes,
Kathy,
and
can
I
I
think
come in
okay,
here,
you want to
Kathy?
say something? All right, okay.
Yeah. Peter, can you hear me? What school did you apply to? What school are you talking about?
Okay, I'm talking about Ohio State University.
Now,
And
did you okay, go ahead, please.
so I applied to as many as possible universities, but some did not even, respond. But part of those that responded is Ohio State University. And one of the reasons, the basic reason why they did not give me admission is because my degree, I spent about 1 year and 8 months to finish the bachelor's degree. So they were kind of telling me to, if I have an additional, probably if I have a HND or ND, to just join with this thing, that they will give me admission. That their policy states that at least three years of educational distance before they can actually give a student admission. So that was that about Ohio State University.
So this is actually very, very sensitive case, right? I don't know. I will not be able to. I don't know if this answer that I'm about to give is going to give you like more like a long-lasting solution. But what I can only say is I don't know if it was specified on their website prior to when you were applying, whether they are not going to be accepting, you know, the kind of degree program that you have, the kind of bachelor's degree program that you have, right? So I think the only thing that I'm going to say is, if you have checked, okay, so for instance, the other schools that you applied to, was it the same issue with these other schools that you applied to? Did they get back to you? Did any one of them say anything similar to these Ohio universities?
The issue is some schools did not responded. Why some schools responded, and I told you the other time that I wanted to write GRE. So some schools had me to write GRE, that they require GRE. So what I think is that this admission of a thing, it depends on what you have. Like, for example, now if I had GRE also with my degree, my online degree, they could possibly, consider something like that. So the PhD I'm applying for
not have mattered. Sorry to cut you. It might not have mattered, right? So there are some things that are no-brainers and some things that they are flexible on, right? So GRE, for example, some schools will tell you, okay, if you don't want to write it, ask for a waiver. It's fine. But a bachelor's degree is a different thing entirely. The bachelor's degree is like saying, did you go to college? If you don't go to college, you can't get an MBA in the US. It's just what it is. And so if your degree is not recognized as something that is saying that you actually went to college for the required number of years that you're required to, it's like you telling them to say, remove the fact that I went to undergraduate and just give me a postgraduate degree. If you think about it, even you, it's not possible, right? So you need to understand, like, your online degree might be valid for some schools. The goal is to looking for schools that actually accept it. Right? And in some requirements, another thing I would say here is, when you're looking to apply to schools, and there's a sheet I probably want to share as well, just so you can see what I did during my time, you have to have like a list of the schools you're applying to. What are they asking for? What do you have? It helps you filter out the schools that apply to you and things that you don't need, or look for like the things that you need so you can add it to make it up the requirements, right? So and it's usually clearly on their websites. Again, they're not like Nigerian schools. Unless that school is fake, all the information you need is always on their websites, and their requirements and qualifications that tell you that this is what you need to be able to attend this kind of program. So it's a matter of, if Ohio State has said that they want a 3-year degree lists as bachelors, and you have something telling you that it's 1 year, 8 months you did, best believe that they will not grant you that admission, because you don't have one of the qualifying requirements to give. And that's probably also why schools didn't come back to you as well. So I think your assignment basically is like finding schools that actually will take an online degree, or better still, just like Toby said, look for schools that can possibly convert that degree that you have into a 3-year program and get a certificate, that even if you need to write additional courses, because I think that may be like your fastest route. If those exist,
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think that helps.
Yeah, and also sorry, Peter, do you have any bachelor's degree?
No, that's my first degree. That's my first degree I did.
Oh, so it's an online. What's the school? Is it a Nigerian school?
No, it's a US school. It's a US accredited school.
Oh, and then you did like an accelerated program.
Yeah, the reason why I did that was because of the currency FX rates. Because then we were trying, Nigeria now, you have to fast track your program. Because I was paying tuition in dollars. So, and I had the chance to fast track, like to do my coursework at a faster pace. You understand? The standard this thing is like 36 months. But because of the forex exchange, I had to fast track. That was the reason why I finished earlier. So if I had known, I would just follow the normal route. Yeah.
How long have you been applying now?
I just started applying last year in November. The other thing I saw is that some schools accepted it, but they don't have fully funded this thing. They will want you to pay your school fee. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So another thing you can do, Peter, is could you reach out to the school again and just ask them, like, what's the possibility of converting your current degree to a full year one, like the 3-year, 36 months one? Like, what do they need you to add on? Like, just look at what that requirement is. It might be your next best option. Just saying. I think we need to move on to other questions just because of the sake of time. I have a hard stop at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I would say that you should just, there are over 5,000 universities in schools in the United States of America, compared to Nigeria that has maybe 120 something, 130 something universities. So please don't limit yourself. Just look for schools. I'd say, I mean, for you to say that you apply to a particular school and some schools just don't have funding, so it means that it's possible for you to apply to other schools and they will give you admission for this program and also give you funding, irrespective of your background. Okay. So I think the major thing now is what I would recommend for you, Peters, is try to do GGRE if you can. If you have the means to do it, okay, try to do GGRE. And even the applications are starting by, for the fall to 2025 application is starting by around, let's say like some of them are opening around September, October, November, December, right? Some of them close it around maybe December, maybe January, February. So you have the space of time to prepare for this GRE, almost like 4 months, just to solidify your, because this thing, you know, all this application thing is person specific, like your profile specific, right? So if you know that this your background might be a limitation in the coming future, maybe for your applications, try the GRE. It gives you more opportunity to be able to shortlist more schools and have more, like, give yourself more chances. Do you get it? That's what I think. Try the GRE and shortlist more schools. Okay. Like I said, try this School of Business in Foucault. I don't know if you tried it at Duke University. Perhaps it might also, you know, it might also help as well. Yeah. I mean, that's the only school that I know for now that, you know, does MBA, this kind of stuff that you're talking about. And I don't know about VT school as well, if you can try it as well. Yeah. So probably run for so other people's questions.
All right, thank you so much, Smart. Thank you, Ms. Vicky, and thank you, Mr. Toby. Yes, the hands that are raised, I can see Shokwe John, I can see Oluwa Afunsho, and I can see Olu Shemiloris. We'll take those questions, and I just want to talk about something. Before now, we had to allow people send in questions. While I was going through the questions, I feel if the individuals are here, they will be able to see that their questions have somehow been answered, because somebody was asking that, is there an opportunity to get a GRE waiver? And I think Ms. Vicky mentioned that when she was answering the question. And the other part, yes, it was talked about on the essence of making research, because the person was asking of schools where he or she can get fully funding, or where he or she can get IELTS waiver, or let's say English proficiency test waiver and GRE waiver. I'm going to take the other question after this person's question. I'll read it out here from the chat box. It says, okay, that please, sir, I want to, okay, sorry. Please, I want to ask, is it advisable for me to apply for a scholarship as I just concluded my bachelor in engineering rather than going for NYSC? I graduated on Tuesday past. I just want your opinion and people's suggestion. And secondly, how may I know the particular website of a school rather than entering a wrong website? Okay, I think this person is trying to know the website that are real from the website that are counterfeit, thinking one is on the right website. Is there a difference between applying for admission and securing a scholarship? And applying for scholarship, will it require one to apply for funding separately after being given scholarship? So overall, I feel this person just wants to be guided, wanting to know that should he apply for his master's before, for his scholarship before going for NYC? I feel, okay, let me leave that to our speakers. And he also wants to know if there is a difference between applying for an admission and securing a scholarship. That is, does he have to apply for an admission and apply for a scholarship separately? Or it's that once he applies for a scholarship, he automatically gets an admission into a school? Or once he applies for an admission, he automatically gets a scholarship? So I'll want to take another question with that, so the two questions can be taken at once. Yeah, someone else said, I learned that funding in the USA only take effect when someone is in the US soil. So what will be the possible financial budget apart from the application packets? Also, sometimes when I'm going through some college websites, I would see several professors whose research interest aligns with mine. So how best will I know the best person to code email? So those are the two questions we want to take now. And those of you who still have your hands raised, please do not be annoyed. We'll attend to you in no longer time. So over to you, our speakers.
All right, so I'll quickly take this from the MBA perspective. When you apply for an MBA program, you automatically get considered for scholarship. So you don't have to do any special application processes after that. So like I talked about, there's Forte. Forte is the more popular one for women. There's other schools, different schools have different like sponsors and donors. So you just hear so and so, and this one gave you funding for this, blah, blah, blah. So for MBAs, it's automatically like allocated to you based on what the school has available for that year in terms of what they want to apply for funding. So you see some people, they go with full funding because they applied in round one, there's still a lot of, funding bucket available. By round two, round three, the funding starts to decrease because timing has gone. A lot of people have gotten out of that funding, etc. So that's how the MBA works. In terms of should you go for NYC or apply, to be honest, that's a personal thing. I personally think that when you're going for, if you're doing specialized degrees, such as like MSc, if you're still going to further in engineering, in that case, you might not need to like get the work experience. But when you're going for a business degree, they always like you to have some work experience before you come to business school. Mainly because you are going to recruit. So most of these organizations that you're going to recruit with require that you have some years of experience so that they know where, like how useful you're going to be to the organizations. So it's really a personal thing. If your career path looks like one that would be specializing in engineering, or maybe like you're going into more specialized fields like biochemistry and things like that, and might need extra degrees to be more, popular in the field, then yeah, by all means go further your degree right after school. But if you're going into the more business route, I always recommend having like a couple of years of experience before you go into business school. Could you remind me of the last question? Boss, I think there was one tiny question on the end of the.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it back right now.
Toby, I guess you can carry into like.
Yeah,
Different. The one asking if, okay, I think that was the one you answered. And the person asked about knowing the website, that is knowing original website of the school from websites that are not genuine.
Again, it's trial and error. Expecting us to know this. We're just like you. I hope you know that we're not foreign. We also did this like 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years or 1 year ago. It was all trial and error. If it's something that seems fishy, again, it's not like Nigeria, right? When you see an original website, you know it. When there's a fake website, you also know it, right? So I think just be perceptive to these things and like know what the difference is. To be honest, asking us to be able to tell you which websites are real, I don't know, maybe Toby might know, but I don't know how to filter that.
I don't know about, I think this is the first time I'm even hearing that kind of a thing. This is the first time I'm hearing about a fake website. So, but the major thing is, for a fake website, did you like try to like check the program coordinator of such to try to schedule a Zoom meeting with them? Because if you really understand the process of all these things, like you wouldn't see, because okay, say for instance, maybe I see a school. Take for instance, maybe I see University of UMass, Dartmouth. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is once I check the requirements and I see that it looks like I have my profile aligns with these requirements, right? What I would do is I will email the program coordinator and see if one of the things that I used to do is to try to schedule a Zoom meeting with them. That's what I do. I attach it to my email. I wouldn't mind, connecting with you soon to try to find out more about this program. And, as I still have some more questions that I would want to be answered. And some will be planned and some don't, right? So I think from that, you'll be able to know whether one particular website is fake or not. Like, do you get it? Like, that's what I think anyway, regards to fake website thing. And it's very rare, really, it's very rare. I don't know if Toby has something to say about it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna first start with the NYSC. Just like Victoria said, there are some schools that require that you have some sort of work experience before as part of your application. They want you to have worked in a particular place. So NYSC gives you that. But again, some schools don't require it. So it all depends on what the school requirement is. So but it's not mandatory. NYSC is mostly important just in Nigeria, to be honest. It's just Nigeria something. In the US, they don't really care about that. So you don't have to, and you have to. Just make sure you ask questions. So one thing is I reach out to your schools. For those of you that have already started your application processes and you've started receiving emails from your school, whenever you have any question, please reach out to your schools as much as okay, no, smart. I said that because sometimes like you can use the work like when I was in NYC, I worked as a teacher. When I was doing my NYC, I worked as a teacher, and that was part of the thing that I used in my work experience. So that's why I said you might, for those of you that have it, that might be like an advantage for you. Okay. But it is not mandatory. Okay. Yeah, and then someone was asking questions about funding, like, do you apply for funding after your admission? I remember saying that when I first applied for my master's degree, um, I didn't write any email or applied for any sort of funding. Everything came with the admission. After I got my admission letter, then the school informed me that I had scholarship. So I was actually lucky. I had 2 scholarships, one as a teaching assistant and the other as a research assistant. That was
Can we
done.
get the name of the schools, please?
Oh yeah. So the school that I went to was North Carolina Central University, and I studied physics there. Yeah, and I was opportunity to get those scholarships. So I got a scholarship, as a teaching assistant and as a research assistant. And those 2 scholarships they were given to me all through the years of my program. And but it was different when I applied for my PhD. So when I applied for my PhD, scholarship didn't come with it. I had to send an email to my department to tell them that I need a scholarship because there was no way I was gonna pay for that myself because the money is a lot of money and I can't pay it out of pocket. So I reached out to my school, sent them an email. And these are the things that you can, there's ChatGPT now. You can put it in your ChatGPT, ask your ChatGPT that make an email for me, or compose an email for me requesting scholarship from this school. It's definitely gonna give it to you, and then you can now put it in your own format. I'll put it how you would like it to sound, so it doesn't sound like it's a computer that was making that message for you. So yeah, request for me. I had to request. I remember when I first asked that question, they told me that right now they've not started giving out scholarship, but definitely they're going to add me to a list. And I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. But I didn't stop there. I think every 3 days or every now and then I follow up. I'm like, hello, this is me again. I'm just trying to remind you that I'm waiting for this scholarship, blah blah blah, like that. And I think after like few weeks, let's say like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, yeah, I got an email informing me that I've been offered a scholarship that covered my tuition, my stipend. So I was given a teaching assistant. I've not yet finalized my research assistantship yet, but I was offered a teaching assistant. But for my research assistantship, I have been having interviews with different professors on different research, because my PhD is actually going to be like in a broad it's broad because it's like engineering, and you have the option of picking what engineering you want to have your research in. So that's why I'm having different interview with different professors. So I would say, like, for you, just make sure you keep sending them emails. The world has evolved now. Now there are things that you can just use ChatGPT for, and definitely they will it will come up with something for you, and then put in your own format, send it back to the school. Thank you. If you have any questions, definitely please ask questions.
Okay, thank you. So I want to give the opportunity to this person who has been written his or her, I think, Oluwafunsho. Okay, Oluwafunsho, you have the opportunity to ask your question now.
All right. Please.
Yes, you can be heard.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Oluwatobiloba, for the information you've shared so far, and thank you again to our second speaker. So I think some of my questions have actually been answered. However, a friend of mine who we are here together just asked me a question a few minutes ago, and I'm like, okay, I don't have an answer to that. And let me just put the question up here. So I know there is always a process for this application thing into these schools. And I know there's always an application fee attached to each of the process, but I don't know if the system has changed, because I have not had anybody talk about, okay, there's always an application fee or application fee waiver or something like that. So I would like to know if this system has changed. That is one. Second question is, for those who are really, really looking at scholarship, because I know obviously everybody here is actually looking out for scholarship options. Do I still need to, of course, when I make my research about the school I want to put in an application to, do I need to check the department and check supervisors or potential supervisors in each of the departments to be sure if they have a funding for the program I am putting in for or not? Like, do I need to get a supervisor or a potential supervisor before putting in my application? Or I can just put in an application, then see if there is any funding for that or from that department towards my program. And also, another question that was asked here is, if I am writing a GRE for my program or to make application into my program, do I still need to write any other English test aside from the GRE? So I think these are the three questions that I have. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I remember the first question that you said, do you need the supervisor to reach out to the supervisor directly? So the thing is that the department that you're applying to, there's always like a program advisor. And if you look at the website of that school, you should be able to like find one. So for me, I didn't have to like look for a supervisor both times. The program coordinator or advisor will be the one that you'll be talking to. And they will, in your first year, they will actually make sure that they connect you with a professor that aligns with your research interest. So when you get in, they will make sure that they find a professor that research. And you might be lucky, right, that the person has a lot of funding. And at the same time, you might know. But one thing I know is that as long as you come in, this department will always find a way to make sure that you're funded, irrespective of if your supervisor has a lot of funding or not. Okay, so definitely when you just make sure that you keep talking to them, but you don't really have to like reach out to the professor by yourself. If the professor will reach out to you, there's some situations whereby the professor will reach out to you, definitely, but you don't really need to do that. They will reach out to you when it's time for them to reach out to you. But the person that you want to reach out the most is the program coordinator. Yeah. And can you say the second question again? Sorry.
So the second question is about the application fee and application fee waiver, if the system has changed or not.
Oh
And
no.
last
So
question.
okay,
Okay.
let me just take that and then you tell me the last question. Sorry, for sure. So for the application fee, there are some schools that waive it and there are some schools that do not waive it. Like for example, when like the school that I finished from, the application fee was not waived when I wanted to apply to the school. But I also applied into that school for my MBA because I applied for MBA after my master's. And when I applied during that time, it was waived. Then I also applied to Duke University. And when I applied to Duke University, also the application fee was waived. But the school that I'll be going to, which is North Carolina, North Carolina Agriculture and Technology State University, the application fee was not waived. I had to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I had to pay for it, but like I said, I paid for that, but I had the opportunity of, I mean, I got a scholarship, so it was still like a win-win situation for me. But again, I think again for application fee waiver, there's a particular period. I think that week is called University Week. When you apply, or if you're able to complete your application in that week, then definitely your application fee will be waived. So you have to make sure you find out what week is that if you want to apply in that week. But every school, they waive the application fee that week.
For
okay.
just to add to what to be said, another thing is ask and you shall receive, right? Sometimes they put the application fee, they put the application fee there that you have to pay it. But you come from a country where the exchange rates to what they're paying sometimes might even be your 1 month salary, right? So when you do a need-based application to say, the most important thing is ask them first, state your circumstances that, oh, hey, the exchange rates compared to your own Kenya, Nigeria is going through economic hardship, whatever it is, the case is, and tell them that would they be willing to give you an application fee waiver, you're a strong candidate, your GRE scores, blah, 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 and blah, blah. They will always be willing to listen. So if they give you the waiver, great. If they don't, great. But the most important thing is that you should ask.
All right, thank you. The last question that I asked was that if I have my GRE, do I still need any other English test to apply to US schools, or GRE alone is okay?
Depends on the school you're applying to. So Nigeria is typically seen as an English-speaking country. So for the most part, I don't think any school that I applied to ask me for English proficiency tests anymore. There might be some smaller schools who might still insist, which would be very weird. But Nigeria, most of the time over the US, is regarded as an English-speaking country. So when you have the standardized scores, they typically don't ask for IELTS or TOEFL, but there might be some exceptions to that. So don't quote us on it. I don't know if Toby has a different experience.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing. Your GRE should show them that you are coming from, I mean, you are proficient in English. And if I thought they are still requesting for it, I think you can send an email back telling them that you're coming from an English-speaking country. So, like I said, anytime they send you, do not be scared to send an email back. Interact with them, let them know, like, talk to them. That's one thing again that I also wanted to say, that it's not like Nigeria where you can like make your thoughts known. If there's any question that you have, put it into writing, send it to them. As long as you're not insulting them, okay? But ask them questions. They will definitely reply you. That's one thing about this place. They will definitely reply. The other thing they're confused about, they are still requesting a proficiency level. You can tell them that, oh, Nigeria is an English-speaking country. So, and your bachelor's degree, it was in English. So you're surprised that they're still asking you for an English proficiency test. You can always ask them, and if they still insist, then you can reach out to your school.
If they still insist, that might also be a sign that the school is not
Yeah.
legit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You also want to be careful of that too. So all those small things are like signs for you to understand whether a school is actually like legit or they're just being problematic, right?
Oh, all right. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so I feel your question has been answered, right?
Can
The
I
next
can I
question. Okay.
can I jump in on that question as well? Yeah. So they've actually like answered most of the things. So the major thing is most of these schools, some of them have the exact particular date that they have application fee waivers. Take for instance, Georgia Southern University. I have always known that their application fee waiver is February 14th. And so anytime I want to apply, when I was applying in for 2022, I was always targeting that date. You will get an application fee waiver, sure, and you don't even need to email anybody for it. Okay, so these are things that you want to be sure. You can deliberately join groups. So one of the things that you can do that can help you understand some of these timelines is deliberately join group, network with people in the group, try to find out, okay, do you know of any application fee waiver dates of some schools, and then particularly target those schools. I don't know if that makes any sense. And then most schools actually
Sorry,
during
Godwin, just to
yeah,
add to that, join their info sessions as well. All the schools have like info sessions, and then they'll tell you
yeah,
that if you join it for this info session, you get application fee
you
waiver.
get an application fee
Always
waiver
look
straight
for
away.
those as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it goes. Like there are even some there was this webinar that I joined when I was in Yoket. Yeah, Yoket. Try Yoket. Make sure for the fall 2025 application, this 2025 application cycle, make sure you join Yoket webinar. They do this webinar where they bring schools from all over USA. So when they come, these schools you can like join rooms. Okay, you can join rooms in this school, and then in this webinar, Zoom webinar, and then you will be, you go from one table to the next table. One room to the next room, meeting program coordinator specifically, and you can type it, like I said, Yoket is YOCKET. Let me type it here for you guys before I forget. Yeah, Yoket is, YOCKET. They always host a webinar where they bring a lot of schools like they are in partnership with. And then once you join those programs, you automatically also get application fee waiver. And they also give you the application fee waiver coupon code. Okay. And then also when you join scholarship groups, there are in most of these scholarship groups, they always share application. Some of these students are not, they are like you, the applicants like you, they are not self-centered. So they always share all this application coupon. Okay. So when you get all this application coupon, apply it, you can use that to get your application fee waiver. Like I said, you can also send an email to the program coordinator, to the graduate admissions coordinator as well. But I think you should be able to get good information from the program coordinator of the department you're interested in. And by so doing, explain, just like Vicky said, explain to them the hardship of the economy and why you can't afford. Most of them don't know. That is why they're asking for it. But when you let them know, some of them will be for you. And there are some that are going to reach out so that they are going to say no, they are not going to waive the application fee. But this is the trick. For the schools that you are sure that you are going to be paying the application fee, you must be sure that that school is going to be giving you scholarship. And that is why I'm so thankful for Toby, who is here today. Toby, by the grace of God, if it's one for Toby, I'll most likely will not be in the US, right? So Toby told me about North Carolina Central University, that they have scholarship for physics. He was in the school already, he was already in the school, although we finished the same year, same program, same undergraduate school. So when he told me, I was like, guy, Okay, so how does it go? Like, so you gave me all the things that they need, all the requirements. Oh, they have you have to do this, they are waiving GRE, they are waiving TOEFL, and blah and blah and blah blah. Okay, no problem. Then it now said they are going to be, I'm going to be paying application fee. I'm like, Toby, I don't get money. If this could not give me for the guy, he could give me my money back. You know those kind, you know those kind of thing, right? Because I've applied to quite a number of schools. So what I did was, because Toby said that they are offering scholarship for physics, I put them on number 1 on my list. I did not even email any professor. I put them on number 1 on my list, and I made up my mind I was going to pay the application fee. Okay, because he had already told me. I think from my findings, it was that they were not going to be offering application fee, but to assure that they were waiving GRE, they were waiving TOEFL, and they were going to give scholarship for me. Give me scholarship to my master's in physics, right? So that's really how it goes. Be sure that the programs that you are going to end up paying the application fee for are schools that you are sure that they are going to give you scholarship. I don't know, is there any other question you also had that I missed out on, Mr. Funsho?
The other questions that I asked was about if I have my GRE, do I still need any other English test? And I think Victoria and Toby have
Yeah,
done
get an English proficient. What I did was I didn't even email most of them. Okay, well, that works as well. Like they said, get an English proficiency letter or waiver letter. Okay, in that letter, I can send you a sample of it. I can send the sample to the group as well. Tell them that you, just like Toby said, your undergraduate studies was in English, right? Completely in English. So you took all your courses in. They put your matric number, they put your name, blah and blah. They'll put it in the letterhead of the school if it is something that you can get in the letterhead of your undergraduate school. Mine was duly signed and stamped by. Please, someone can help this person to share the WhatsApp group link. Mine was duly stamped and signed by the HOD of my department. I got one from my HOD of my department. I got one from the dean of my college. And I think I also got one from the registrar of my school. I have 3 English proficiency letters. 3-1. So you should try to do that as well. And then there are some schools that just automatically waive it for you and say, oh, because you came from because you came from an English-speaking country like Nigeria, they're going to waive it for you. And then that's it. You don't need to send them any letter. And then that's it, really. So, I'm not so sure how GRE connects with the English proficiency waiver. I'm not so sure of that. Maybe some waive it for you, but I think Toby was maybe saying that it was possible for them to waive it for you because you have GRE. But these were things that I did to, waive the English proficiency exam. Yeah.
The GRE English component.
Just one last question, please.
You can't
These people are so stupid. These people are so stupid. I don't know why you would do GRE. I don't know.
As hard as the GRE English part is, it's like if somebody still asks you for a proficiency test after that, to be honest, you shouldn't take them seriously because that
the reason why I said that was because I've seen such thing on some schools' websites that they will ask for GRE and another English test.
They do that, but you also need to talk to them, like, right? These things, again, they are super reasonable. It's a matter of just pointing it out to the person that how can I score 150 on my GRE English proficiency, and you're still asking me for English proficiency test.
Okay.
It's not possible. So it's really an email like conversation to be like, hey, I've written the GRE, scored this on English, and I think that covers for please.
All right. Just one last question, please. I'm sorry about this.
Question, I don't know. Could you hold on so we can take some other questions because of the time?
All right. It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you so much. So I have 2 people.
Please, before you forget. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Before you forget,
if it's possible that it might I don't know, because I'm thinking of having questions from other people, so it won't just.
Hey, wait, sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah. What was that trying to say? Yeah. There is this particular brother that I have who finished from National University of Education. He already had some publications already. I think he already had almost like 2-3 publications already. And Purdue University was asking, the requirement of Purdue is that you have to do GRE. from what I know Purdue very well. It's one of the top schools. They are always asking for GRE. This brother Vest, he sent them an email. He said that he's not doing GRE, that he has so CTPA, he has so publications. He's a graduate teaching assistant at National University at a university in Nigeria, that he cannot do GRE. And they went to GRE for him. They gave him the scholarship. One of the reasons why some of these schools don't take us serious is the fact that we're also not taking our stand. Do you understand? Because we're also not taking out. That's why I said that if it is possible for you to be in a one-on-one Zoom meeting with them, like sell yourself sell yourself, allow me to say to you, but sell yourself, sell yourself, tell them, some of that. That's why it makes sense for you to also build your profile such that you can, such that you'd be able to also sell yourself. For instance, some of you are talking about NYSC. I'd say NYSC is not really important. Like NYSC is not even a thing to talk about. I'd say if you are maybe still an undergrad listening to this, or maybe you just finished and you don't have most of this experience, join an NGO. You can join any NGO. Like there are quite a number of them, people that you can be so that you can be serving. You can be serving, and then you get certain work experience that is related to your background and what you're applying for. Okay. And by so doing, you can leverage this experience that you've garnered in this working with these NGOs. And some of these NGOs are even on WhatsApp. They just have a WhatsApp group, they host meetings or whatever it is they do. And so once you do all these things, gather these experiences and sell it in your resume. Okay, so it's not really necessary, compulsory for you to go to NYC before you can, get some of these things really sorted. That's what I think about the NYC. So yeah, Kathy, yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Thank you. So there's this question that someone is asking, or someone asked before now. She said she finished undergrad studies. She finished as an accounting student rather, and she wants to pursue a master's program in a computer science related course. So she's asking for prospects. While we take that, I also want one person who has been raising his hand since to ask a question. That's Oyebamiji. You can ask your question now.
Okay, Kathy, I can quickly take that before Yevamiji comes in. Okay, for the person that wants to apply for computer science, that is really good. But I would just advise that computer science is very big and large. If you still want to apply to computer science, definitely please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for those things that you have been doing for us. Please, if they insist in paying for application fee, how do one pay from one's Nigerian account for the application fee?
All right, then your question will be attended to. What's about that? Your question will be
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was trying to answer a question when that interrupted. All questions.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like I said, computer science is by now very is large. So try to zero it down to what you really want to do in computer science. Do you want to be a software engineer? You can actually go and study that. Do you want to you want to go into cybersecurity? Do you want to be a data scientist? Do you want to be a front end? Make sure that you really know what you want to do. Don't just go there I'm just trying to say, because those are the mistakes that I made. I did that mistake of just going in I'm just want to go into the broad market, and along the line I'm going to figure out what I really want to do. But I'll advise that know from now what you want to do. What can you do now? What exactly are you trying to do with the computer science? Do you want to be at the end of the day, do you want to be a software engineer? There are schools here that you can apply that. That is all they will be teaching you, that software engineering. So please, if you are applying into Victoria, what are you trying? You're trying to say?
I said they will return you at the embassy when you ask your questions.
Yes. So please, please apply to if you want to apply to computer science, good. But please make sure that zero it down to this is what I really want to do and apply to those places. Okay, don't waste your time. So you can get what you want to do as soon as possible and you start working. Okay. Please don't.
So I would just add to that. Oh, okay, Karen. I'll just add to that and say that I would recommend also like ensuring that your new computer science degree also like relates to what you've done before. So that's like a continuation, right? It's like a build up on what it is you've done before, and they don't say that you're discarding your existing degree for another one and all of that. It just proves more, it adds more legitimacy to your application. That's what I just wanted to say.
Yes. And for the person that talked about I think it was the application fee, right? How to pay your application fee or something.
Yes.
Have you tried using your Nigerian card to pay for it? I think what other people do is you try to like find someone that can pay it for you over here, and then you can pay the person the equivalent in Naira. I believe so. Godwin, you should have something to say about that.
Yeah, you mean for the application fee when you
Person
want
was
to pay,
asking
right?
how to pay like application fee from Nigeria.
Yeah, so people used to reach out to me, right? There are quite a number of people that have helped to pay the application fee on the group. So you send me the Naira, I help you. How we go about it is I help you ask people in my network if they need Naira. Maybe they want to send it to their loved one. So they will connect with you and then you sell the Naira to them. And then, some of them will be willing to help you pay the application fee. They are willing to go to the website and help you pay. Now, some of them will send me the dollar and say, I have it, and then I'll help you. I help you pay. So I don't think it's that much of a big deal, really. Basically, just make sure you connect with someone in the US to help you to pay. That is the easy way to pay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Oyebamiji, if you're still here, you can.
Thank you, Kafi. They've answered my question. My question is on the application fee.
Okay. Awesome then.
Just to quickly say,
Really?
sorry, Kafi.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I have to drop off because I have another engagement, but feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll answer as many questions as I can. Gordon, thank you so much for having me. Kafila, thank you so much for being such a great host.
We should be thanking you. You that you're thanking us. We are the ones that are thanking you now.
No, it's all good.
Thank you.
I've had fun.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so kindly for scooping out time out of your no time, because definitely you're a very busy person and it's great that you were able to make this appointment. Thank you. And please, everyone, feel free to connect with her on LinkedIn. So now let's take a question from Rolly. I hope Rolly or Rolly. Rolly. Okay, thanks. Then thank God. Rolly, you come first, then thank God you come second. So if you're still here, you can ask your question. The floor is open.
All right. It's evening, Nigeria. Good evening, everyone. Okay,
good
my
evening.
question. So I've been listening since. So my question is for courses like pharmacy. Do we need does it require writing a GRE exam? And also, for fresh graduates who just graduated, there's a compulsory 1-year internship program that you must do. So I don't know if that is mandatory before one can start proceeding to applying for schools. And are there any other information concerning courses like pharmacy and maybe medicine, precisely pharmacy this time around? So
Please,
my question.
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my question now is is the 1-year internship compulsory before you can start application? Then the second part of the question is GRE And what other exams are required for a course like pharmacy?
So let me quickly jump on this topic, then you can support me. I'd say that I always say this, please, if you know you have the intellectual capacity to write the GRE exam, okay, try it. It gives you like, so it makes your profile solid. Other than that, it gives you an opportunity to be able to apply to more schools. You'll be able to apply to more schools and you will not be limited. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. I know getting money for GRE can be really and can be very expensive. Another thing that you can do as regards GRE, what I did was, when I finished school, I was volunteering for a lot of organizations. I was volunteering for First Class Students Network. I was volunteering for Guess What Nigeria, volunteering for Certificate, a lot of organizations. So most of these people, some of them were abroad. And so I told some of them that, I was interested in writing the GRE, that if they could support me with any amount of money, that I'm already doing I started this tutorial business that I was doing in Nigeria. I would also go and teach physics and math and chemistry and all that. And so I was raising money to save up that money to also do my GRE. Only for me to reach out to one of these guys and the person paid for the GRE, like the GRE exam for me. I was like, you said don't try for us. Like, you've really tried for us. And this is a way of us supporting you. And that was what they did, right? So in essence, I'm trying to say that if you can, please do the GRE. It's going to help you. But if it is something that you cannot afford and you don't have any means of getting it, and you know that you cannot try it because you can't just go there, the money is just wasting money, then I say, no, don't. And then my best advice for someone like you is to make sure you connect with somebody in the US abroad. Make sure, because I like to give this cheat code or this strategy. Like, what makes the scholarship application so easy for me was because I had somebody like Toby who had already gotten the scholarship offer. Okay, knew about the school, he knew the in and out of the school, and he was telling me that, guy, I can assure you, say funding day, this my department, apply. Okay, if you can get somebody like that, I know you should have quite a number of friends in the US who have already applied for this same particular program that are in several schools. You would be able, I always explain this, you'll be able to leverage their experience, all right, to know the schools that you're going to apply to, they are going to give you a love letter, and schools that you're going to apply to that most likely will give you funding. Okay, they are also going to, because they have, can you still hear me?
Please, can you tell us some schools?
Can you still hear me?
And I can.
Yes, loud and clear.
Smart, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that you should connect with people in the US, because it's going to make your journey so very, very easy. Ben, please, my phone is about to go. Yeah, it's going to make your journey so very, very easy. You wouldn't apply to schools that are going to give you letter, or are leveling their experience. They have already, perhaps maybe they know that if you apply to Ohio University for MBA, they know that you are not going to get funding because they have applied to it before, and then they said maybe because they didn't do GRE, and so they are not going to give them. So they let that school and went to go and apply to another school that give them funding. So instead of you to make the same error or mistake they made, you would, because they're going to tell you straight that please don't apply to Ohio University. So I always say leverage the experiences of. I always say, I don't know if you can still hear me. I don't know. Can you still hear
Smart, we
me?
can hear you. Keep talking, keep
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, so I always say, connect with people abroad who are doing exactly the program that you're looking for. So for pharmacy, I'm going to make this recommendation. I know that in my school, North Carolina Central University, I know that for sure that there is Toby, I think Shima's younger sister is doing, I think is biomedical integrated science or something, and they also have pharmacy.
Yeah, I believe this.
They
Yeah,
have pharmacy. Yeah. There's a guy who did pharmacy in Nigeria who is presently here doing his MSc in that particular program. They gave them funding. Okay. So try that particular program as well. North Carolina Central University. I know they have something for pharmacy. I know that for sure. So try it as well and see. I think they also have PhD in biomedical integrated science. One of us in the group is coming in to come and do his PhD in this particular program, although it's coming from Kenya. So they have something related to medical, biomedical, pharmacy, and all these things. So you can apply to that program and see what you get. That's what I know. So, but you can connect with other people, maybe your seniors in school who are already abroad, to make recommendations of schools that you can apply to that are sure to give you funding, and then you can do that. Yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. Then, I mean, I've already mentioned the GRE thing, that it's really, really good. If you can afford it, you can try to see if you can raise the money, raise it and do. And I think I know that this is Vincent talking. So I think you are, yourself enough time to write it. That's it. Maybe 4-5 months. Take your time, prepare for it, write it, and then study for it. Yeah. I don't know if that question is answered. Toby, I don't know if you have else to say about that.
Yeah, just like I think you've said most of the things, to be honest. Like Smart said, try to like reach out to see one thing again I'm gonna ask is that any school that you feel like, as long as the school has the program you want to do, please apply to that school, irrespective of whatever anybody tells you. Okay. I've had situations where people will tell you that I don't want to apply to this school. They're not gonna admit, or they've stopped admitting people, and then you end up applying to such schools and you end up getting the admission and also funding. Okay. And again, there are some schools that would offer partial funding. That's another thing that you need to understand. They will tell you, oh, we're only going to give you this amount of money. But again, make sure you ask for more money. There's nothing wrong in asking for more money. Ask them that you don't have anything, that they should help you. Oh, I got an admission at Duke University, and I was given partial funding. And I told them that, yeah, I don't think I'm going to accept this because I need a full funding. I think they gave me an option of they sent me a link to apply for more money. But because I already had a school that had guaranteed full funding, I had to go for that one rather than waiting for that one. So again, make sure you like I said, people tell you apply for more schools so that you have options to pick from. All right. The more schools you have, then you can pick from them. But again, the best option to go for is the option that gives you a full scholarship at the end of the day, because you don't want to pay
out of pocket.
out of your pocket. Yeah, it's easier as it seems. Some people be like, when I get there, I'll work, I'll make $3,000. Yes, it's just $3,000. But when you come in, you find out that it's not just $3,000. It's a lot of hours to make $3,000, especially when you're in school. Okay, so make sure you go for the best option, and the best option is full funding.
Yeah. Some actually, like, I have quite a number of friends who came into the country with partial scholarships. Some, they did not even see any scholarship. They entered. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They are getting it. So one thing I know is that because we are Nigerians, or because we're Africans, we find a way of, hustling spirit. We find a way of sorting things out. But the truth of the matter is, if you enter this country without fully funded scholarship, it's not going to be easy. Okay. It's not that the country are going to eject you out of the country, but it's just not going to be easy, right? Because you have to work to pay the school fee, all right? And you might also might be thinking of, okay, maybe I should apply to other schools before, maybe I should apply to other schools that are going to give me. So you will be back to this cycle rather, but you are going to be in USA. Okay, so that's how it goes, really.
All right, thank you so much, Smart. I think still on this question is somehow related to that. I don't know if that's been answered before. The person says, if the person was referring to you, Smart, he says, looking at your LinkedIn profile, I see you are juggling assistantship. I don't know how true this is though, but you'll be able to tell us. I see you're juggling assistantship positions in different schools. Is it possible to look for assistantship role in other schools aside the one I am going as the person?
Okay, so for mine,
So for mine, it's not really juggling assistantship in two different schools. So, and I have to work on that if that's the case on my LinkedIn. So how it goes is I have a research assistantship scholarship that I'm on that is being sponsored by a professor in North Carolina Central University, right? But the research itself is a collaborative research, right? It is part of Tunnel, okay? So in that collaborative research, they have a big grant. So it's been schools like the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill is part of it. Schools like North Carolina State University is part of it. Duke University is part of it. My school is part of it. So the research lab is at Duke. Okay, the research because we work in a national nuclear lab. So it's at Duke University. That's why I often spend most of my days at Duke University. So, yeah. So that's how it goes. It's not that my North Carolina Central University is giving me scholarship. I mean, graduate assistantship, and Duke University is also giving me scholarship. It's just because I'm on a collaborative research grant. That's how it goes.
Okay, thank you. So I believe the question has been answered. Oluwafunsho, I can still see your hand, so you have the floor right now. You can ask your question.
All right. Thank you so much. This question, but actually, I think it's going to be more. You said your PhD is going to be or you are doing data science, the PhD program, and this is this is a field I am actually interested in. Actually, I I am running my master's degree in AI and data science here in the UK at the moment, and I'm looking at coming into the US, for more information, for more studies on this particular field or in this particular field. But what I want to understand is it possible to put in an application to a US school with my master's degree certificate, or is it still going to be that I use my undergraduate certificate to put in an application, because my undergraduate does not have anything to do with data science or computer science or anything. You understand? So I am only doing my master's degree right now in artificial intelligence and data science, and I'm looking at leveraging into data science more if I'm coming into the US. So the first question is it possible to use my MSc certificate to still apply for an MSc program in the US? And the second one is I would like to know if your school, I mean your school you are pursuing right now for your PhD, if they have funding for data science master's degree program. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the first question is, I'll just start with my bachelor's was in physics and my master's was in physics. So technically, I didn't have any background in terms of like school in data science. Okay, but I've done some courses online on Coursera, Udemy that are related to data science. But one thing is that if you read data science, like if you want to get a master's or PhD in data science, I'm sure one of the requirements is you should probably like you can have a degree in computer science or physics. So I don't know what your bachelor's degree was. Okay. But if you have so for me, I used both my undergrad and master's. That was what I used to put in the application for my PhD in computational data science and engineering. So I believe that should answer. I would advise that you use both your undergrad and your master's. I'm not. You should also find out, but I think I'm not sure if US, but since a master's degree, definitely just add your master's and your bachelor's degree and put in an application for your PhD. And yes, I believe my school has funding. Other people that I know that apply to the program definitely they were offered scholarship. But and then we are gonna start now. So I don't know what year you want to put in. If you're coming in for next semester, I believe there should be funding. But I advise that one, apply early. Okay, apply as soon as possible. And two, make sure that you're always reaching out to the department as much as you can. Even if you feel like they are not reading your email, still keep emailing them. And again, you can reach out to me. Yeah, I can definitely give you some hint on how I applied for my own PhD. But it wasn't anything vague or anything. It was just normal application. I put in the application. I think I did one interview, but the questions were just normal questions. What did you do? What research have you done? Things like that. And they asked me questions regarding they wanted to know if I had a background or if it was going to be a big deal for me when I start the program, because it's basically going to be a lot of machine learning and Python, C plus, all those programming courses. So and I told them that it's not going to be a big deal. It's something I really want to do, and I'm ready to put in the work. Okay. So like I said, if you have any questions regarding if you want to apply to my school, definitely I will tell you how to apply to my school. And I believe when I get into school also, I will have more information for you guys. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I strongly believe NCEA is a big school. I think it's even bigger than our school.
Not
So
like it's even bigger. It's bigger than our school.
It's bigger than our school. They have money. There are a lot of Nigerians there. There's a friend of mine doing IT. There are quite a lot. There are a lot of Nigerians there doing PhD, MSc.
A friend of mine is starting a PhD in nano engineering, and she has been offered
they
scholarship.
have money. So if I were you, apply. And some of those programs, I think they're even waiving GRE and all these useless exams. They have money. So try to apply to NCA and see. You would, you should most likely should get something. If you apply early, and just like Toby said, try to keep communicating with them. And then also another thing that you guys should do is always have someone inside the school that can be giving you OT. Okay, this professor, email him. He gave 40 that email him. You understand? So somebody like Toby now that is inside the, if I were you, I will find a way of connecting to either LinkedIn or phone number or anything, so that he can be giving us info when he's inside the place. So you get. So that's how it goes, really. North Carolina State University, although North Carolina State University is requesting for GRE. I think they're requesting for GRE for 2025. I think so. Because the COVID the COVID has really stopped. So yeah, has really reduced rather. So they've been trying to put in place their GRE policy and all that. But it's also a good school, a big school that you can apply to as well for most of these programs. I'm not saying specifically for this program, but I'm saying like generally, North Carolina State University is a big school. I said a lot of Nigerians applying there. And I'd also say that you guys should try to apply for more PhDs, because I believe PhDs are more funded than masters. I believe every PhD program you go for has funding. Do you understand? Compared to, so you can apply for more PhDs and then lesser MScs. But the ball is really in your court. You can throw in as much applications as you can. Georgia Southern University has funding for chemistry and physics, applied science. Yeah, applied science. The person to email is their program coordinator, Dr. Michelle McGiboni. Her name is Dr. Michelle McGiboni. Yeah, that's her name. Georgia Southern University. I know they have funding for what's this program? Chemistry, applied science, any applied science program. I think you can try this person that was asking for pharmacy too. You can email them as well. There's this program in law, criminal justice. Yeah, they have for criminal justice as well. So you can try them.
All right, thank you so much, Smart. I think we've been able to sufficiently answer all of the questions. But someone is asking this. I think said before. It says, for someone that has background in human anatomy, can I apply for public health? a lot of people tend to go for neuroscience mostly, but I have more interest in public health. But I don't really have much experience in public health. I have experience in neuroscience and I have volunteered in the field also. What would you advise me to do? Yes, this person needs it needs advice. Smart.
Human anatomy and pH. Well, I would say that, see, you said, so from what you said, but I don't really have much experience in pH. I'd say your best, when you are applying to schools, you put your best foot forward. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but you already have, your transcript will speak well of you when you apply for neuroscience, right? The transcript is going to speak well of you. And then, you know, you already have experience, maybe like field experience, perhaps in neuroscience. So I'd say, why not apply for more neuroscience program? But not that they are not going to select you for PH as well, right? I'm just saying because you have a solid background or profile around that, you will be able to build more profile around neuroscience than PH. But notwithstanding, you can still try more schools. You can still try some schools. You should. The major thing is really, if you know how to package yourself well, you will be able to, most likely be able to learn something in neuroscience. You might not even have a background in it, but the major thing is packaging yourself. For instance, my resume now, for instance, there are a lot of things that I wrote there. If you see my resume is so big. If you read it like this, it will be as you feel like this person, blah blah. How you did this, you did this, you did this, and most of them are research that maybe I heard of, right? Maybe I helped my friend to write the paper when he was writing it, the research when he was writing it. And so I now included it as my own, so as some of the research that I've done, research experiences that I've done. So it's not really compulsory that you, after I say, like you have like this is a deviation from your question anyway. It's not really compulsory. You have a paper publication for a particular thing. The major thing for a particular field, the major thing is, do you have experiences that when they maybe shortlist you for an interview, will you be able to like defend yourself? Will you be able to say something when they ask you questions around this PH? I think that's basically what it is. And then you can also, like I said, volunteer for NGOs. Perhaps some of these NGOs are in WhatsApp group or, I don't know, but you can connect with, if this is what if this is what you're interested in applying for, you can try to connect with people and start building experience in this to build up your profile, your resume, so that you have a good standing or a good profile when you apply for this kind of program. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Smart. So, yeah, I believe everyone this night has got answers from different perspectives to their various questions. This is going to be the last question, I promise. Alimat Adiromu, you can ask your question.
Shut up. When I'm through, you talk.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Actually, I joined the call late. I had a network issue. So I want to ask about, I studied economics and education. To find university that have funding for economics, it's quite hard. I've been checking since January. And they sent, I am your group, Scholarship Act. So if I check any school, probably they have the economics. They might ask for GRE or application fee. So economics or any course around economics like accounting, they are really scarce. All you'll be seeing is science. What is the problem? Are they not doing research? We can't check out the lecturer, ask them for maybe they need research assistants. They don't need research assistants. They don't need teaching assistants. Hey, they want me to be regretting I'm a commercial student too. I'm tired. So please, is there any way out? I beg. I'm tired.
All right, Smart, answer the question.
So they always see. I can assure you that we always post economic opportunities. If you check the group on the description place where you can search for previous messages that we sent, just search economics, you will see the links that we dropped on economics. I can assure you that Ekemini Victor has sent a lot of economics opportunities. So another mistake that every one of us used to make is this. I just figured this out. So I was trying to apply for a program in educational technology, right? I'm an enthusiast of educational technology. This is not a thing for me. Like edutech is a big deal in my head. I'm so passionate about it. So one particular professor reached out to me and was like, "Oh, that is in experimental psychology in I think this has to do with, it's a school of psychology. So it's not a school of education. You know, if I'm looking for educational technology, I'm supposed to be looking for school of education, and then under the school of education, I should get a program in educational technology, right? But this particular professor is in school of psychology, is doing something around experimental psychology, right? And its research is based on learning science, how people can learn, right? And its research is on, designing educational softwares or learning analytics or learning management system for educational technology organization, which is exactly what I'm looking for, right? But the department is not a department of education. In essence, I'm trying to say that there are some of you might most likely be looking for economics, whereas some of these economics, the skill that you need or the skill that you're looking for is actually in another department, because there's a professor who has a background in your field, but it's in another department. So I don't want you to limit yourself and say, oh, but the major thing is, can you get a research supervisor? Maybe you've gone through the papers, the research publication of this person, and the person has, publications, a lot of publications around your interest aligns, right? If your interest aligns, irrespective of the department that the person is, I think you should apply to the person, really. That's how it goes. And then for economics, somebody just dropped in the chat box, I think you should also search, use the website Grad School Shopper, Grad School Shopper, GRAD Shopper is SHOPPER, and then use the US news as well to shortlist schools. You can just type schools in USA or MSc Economics in USA, fully funded scholarship. Use Google. I know Google will bring a lot of schools, and then so just in the first, Grad School Shopper, that's it. Just in the www.gradschoolshopper.com. And in that place, you can search for the program that you're interested in economics, and then you bring out the schools that are offering it in US. US news as well, US and the news, www.usnews.com. Sorry, I lost my flow of thought. But that's really how it goes with shortlisting some of these schools, right? And I think I lost my flow of thought there. I don't know what I was talking about. I forgot it. So, but that's how it goes with most of these applications. Use Google. I remember now. Use Google. Type economics MSc USA or economics PhD USA, and then start checking the website of each of the schools that it brings. Check for the department of economics. Start emailing all the professors you see there. Any professor you see in their faculty, email all of them. Tell them you are a student. You're a Nigerian student. You're trying to apply for the cycle for 2025. You are the top best 1% female graduating student in your department. Nobody's going to do any background check. Nobody's going to know. Speak well of yourself. Sell yourself very well. And then tell them you're interested in applying for the fall 2025 cycle, and you have these, you can even do a background check of this professor before you email them. Before you email them, you would have seen the name of this professor on the website. So you can go to Google Scholar or Google, type their name and their research paper to bring it out. Read it. Okay, this person's research aligned with mine. If it does, then drop them an email. I'm interested in working with you for the fall 2025, and I'm interested in applying for your program. So can I get it fully? What am I saying? Is it possible for me to get a graduate assistantship, in the form of maybe teaching assistantship or research assistantship in your research lab? And then some of them are going to drop you an email and say, no, we don't have funding for this for the 2025 cycle. Some are going to say, yes, we do. And some are not even going to reply at all. But it makes sense for you to at least do something, make a move, start, drop them an email, check this school, like check the website. If you don't do that, you will not be able to know. Some of you are just waiting for us to be sending things for you on the website. And, you don't do the hustling yourself. And some of those people, even when we even drop it on the group, nobody, nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody really, checks some of these links. So that's really how it goes. Like, do the hustling yourself, check for the schools, drop the faculty, all the faculty members in the school, drop them an email. So far, their research alliance, drop them an email. And do that to at least like almost 20, 30 schools. I've always said it, at least like almost 20, 30 schools. And then see how that goes, really. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Smart. I think that's about the last question we had tonight.
I'm sorry, moderator. Please, I want to ask this again. MBAs, they said MBA are not fully funded. Is that true? I'm sorry.
Most MBAs are not fully funded. Most MBAs are not fully funded. Most MBAs are not fully funded. I won't give you that bubble. In Duke, for instance, Duke is a very, very big school. Fuqua, most of those guys there did not get fully funded. They have partial scholarship. Most of them came in with supporting their fully funded and their partial scholarship with loans. With what do they call this loan? I've forgotten. Empower loan. Yeah, that's what most of them came in. MBA is a business program because they know the quality of what you're going to get from an MBA. Any MBA school that you enter, by the time you come out, you're going to be all cake because you are like in the middle of, like you can be employed by even tech organizations. You have a lot to offer. That's what I'm trying to say. So MBA is basically like I have not seen any fully funded MBA program. I've not seen. Even those in US itself, my friends that have gotten it, they are paying school fee. They are paying school fee. So MBA is not being so. It's not a program that you just do and then, So I think even if you get a partial scholarship, if you can try to. It's just so risky to advise. I would say this is the wrong advice. Okay. But if you can try, if you get a partial scholarship, because even these views knows that it's very difficult to get a partial scholarship in MBA. If you can try, if you have the money, okay, if you are willing to take that risk, if you have the money, are willing to take that risk, I'd say go to the embassy, and try to explain to them if you can, make sure you find a way of, answering all their questions. And if they allow you, can come here and, find a way around paying the school fee. So that's how it goes. I don't think. But I might be wrong. Like I said, I might be wrong. You can check on website and they are saying that they have fully funded offer for MBA. And you can send an email to a supervisor. Perhaps the supervisor is willing to have you with them and then they are willing to give you a full tuition waiver and all that. So that's also possible, please. I might be wrong. Please. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So that was Halima, I guess. So I believe I wish she were here earlier on when Miss Vicky was here. I think she would have been able to say some other things about the question.
What?
Yeah.
But I'll just add to what Smart said,
I
right?
had to do my babe now, so
I applied to Fuqua actually. Yeah, for the MBA program there. And yeah, it was partial funding that was offered. They will actually even offer to you as they're giving you the admission letter. But like I said, there is an option for you to apply for more funding, but like some people might just end up paying out of pocket, a lot of money out of pocket. Okay, but there are some schools like I think North Carolina Central University has funding for MBA because
our school.
Yes, they have.
Mm.
And then you have to like work as a TA, but that's gonna cover your tuition. But then like the money that you're gonna be paid as a TA is gonna be small. That's the part of that one. And then the requirement for you to get into the program too, you have to have some sort of business background before you can get into the program. Without that, they're not gonna offer you the MBA. So you just have to like research. I'm sure there are schools out there that will offer you full funding. You
There are
just
over 5,000 schools. So
yeah, you just have to
there'll
make
be
sure that
one.
you
There'll be one. Just research.
no. Let me quickly answer this question. Someone said if you get fully funded scholarship, does it include the money for travel and visa? No. The money for travel and visa, any money you get as a fully funded is gonna come in after you get into the United States. They're not gonna send you any money while you're in Nigeria. So money for visa, money for your tickets to come into the United States or whatever country you intend going is gonna come out of pockets. All right.
I think there are some full ride scholarship actually, like but not, I don't know of USA, maybe Europe, like all these maybe all these Erasmus Mundus scholarship. I don't know, maybe all these, if you like winning all these fellowship scholarship, they are the ones that give you, like, it's a full ride scholarship. That's what they call it. A full ride means they are paying for your transportation to come to go to the country you are going to. They'll pay everything for you, and when you are done, they are willing to pay the transportation fare for you to go back to your country again. Do you get it? So there's this yeah, Education USA. Thank you so much, Omo. Thank you. God bless you. Education USA does that. Education USA supports you on that kind of, they give you full ride scholarship, right? There's this scholarship in Nigeria too that is ongoing presently. Oh God, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a Nigerian-based scholarship. So I've forgotten the name of that scholarship. The scholarship, they're going to pay for your flight to go, and to come, and then they'll give you housing, accommodation, everything. It's a full ride scholarship. It's different from the kind of scholarship we are talking about here. Yeah.
Yeah,
But your
I think
profile has to be
smart.
those
I
kind
think
of scholarships.
I think for Erasmus, they cover transportation, but they will only pay you that transportation when you arrive at the country where you are studying.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Funshaw. Thank you. We chased Erasmus that time, we tired. I chased Erasmus and I saw that if I say Erasmus is not the way, and your profile has to be solid for Erasmus. USA is a better way of getting a scholarship. Erasmus, they are hard. Your profile has to be solid. I'm telling you, your profile has to be solid to get Erasmus. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
and
it's
then
that
the UK lean more towards Erasmus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UK, all these Europe countries, yeah. There's Erasmus is for them. So your profile has gotta be solid, bro. Profile has gotta be solid.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. PTDF, that's the scholarship. Thank you. Thank you. The Nigerian scholarship I was talking about.
Okay.
And like I said, sorry, somebody was asking about undergraduate scholarship, SAT. Do your SAT. So for undergraduate scholarship, you cannot say you are not going to write an exam and you're going to enter. No, you're not going to get a fully funded scholarship. You will have to do well in your undergrad. Okay, even if you don't do well in your undergrad, make sure. Sorry, am I saying undergrad? Sorry, in your high school rather. Make sure you write the SAT exam. Once you write the SAT exam, I think you can waive some English proficiency exam with the English proficiency certificate that I mentioned the last time, right? But some are going to insist that you even also have to write TOEFL or IELTS. So, but even your high SAT score is not even sometimes going to get you a fully funded program. Undergraduate is like the chance of getting a fully funded program because you're not doing research, right? So they in their mind, you are not offering so much. They are the ones that are giving you more compared to what you are offering. So even with a very high SAT score, I have a daughter to one of my big sis who was supposed to enter US but she got declined. She even with her very high SAT score, she got I think it was maybe 90% scholarship. She had maybe $5,000 to pay, and that was it. But she got denied even at the embassy. These useless VO people. So another thing that I also want to say is that most of these transcripts that we always send to the group, We always send transcript to the group. Some of you just read the transcript and let us see. Do you know that you can actually check the name of the school that the person applied to if the person got fully funded scholarship and the program, and if the program is something that you're interested in? And you will, even when you read the transcript, they will mention the name of the professor they want to work with, although some of them are lying. But some actually mention the name of their professors that they want to work with. Do you know that you can email those professors, check the name, check the school, go and research the person, send the email to the person, and see if you can get into those. So that's how you can also take advantage of these information that we are sending to the group, right? Yeah. I hope with all these few points, I've been able to convince you, not confuse you.
Absolutely. I'm able to convince us. I'm not confused us. Wow, it's been a productive 2 hour plus. Yes, like 2 hour plus. Same here. I so believe that everyone who joined the session tonight got something valuable for the time spent. Thank you so much, Smile, for coming up with a program like this at this point in time. And thank you, Mr. Toby. Thank you, Ms. Vicky in Essential. And thank you to, oh my goodness, what a boss. So, okay, Olatun boss. So, yes, I think that's the third guy's name was not around. So, him in Essential as well. Yes, for me, yeah, just being the moderator, I learned a whole lot, though my area of specialization was not really touched, or I don't feel pained. However, I still learn.
Copy.
No, I really understand. No, I saw it, like I saw MBA and STEM, but some things that I need to know, maybe like in-depth research and having to
Yeah.
widen. So I got that real well, because I know it was not going to be like humanities related, so that's why I'm not holding.
I'm going to,
No.
what I'm going to do is we're going to try to host one and bring guys who are non-STEM, okay, to come and speak. That is not even MBA this time around, maybe non-STEM, fully non-STEM. I have a group, non-STEM group as well. I have a guy, PG. Most likely, I'll try to see if I can bring him on board so that he can come and speak for the non-STEM folk as well, so that they can make recommendations for you, right? Yeah, I'm going to work on that. And then maybe before the end of next month, we're gonna have another session. I'd say, please, those of you that are here, I dropped the link to the YouTube scholarship arc. That's it. Subscribe to us, please. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, comment. This session is gonna be uploaded there as well. Follow us on Instagram as well. Scholarship arc is on Instagram as well. Follow us on Facebook, is there as well. I dropped the link. I think someone can please drop the link as I'm talking if you have access to these links. Join this WhatsApp group as well. It makes a lot of sense that you join so that you can get all this first-hand information. So for Kafi, please try. I think I sent East Tennessee State University. I was going through their website. I figured out that they are waiving GRE, they are waiving TOEFL, they are waiving all these exams, and they are doing English as well. So you can try it. I know of East Tennessee State University. One of my friends told me that they have full funding for child education, like full tuition waiver. But their stipend is so minimal but how you get stipend is so they would like send you to schools to go and be doing TA, like tutoring in all this child education, all this Montessori school, and that's how they get you, and that's how they give you fund. That's how they fund your tuition and also give you little stipend. From what I heard, there is a full tuition waiver for childhood education for those who had background in education, right? I know for data analytics, there is funding for East Tennessee State University, like I said. Then Kafi for I don't know if you tried North Carolina State University. I checked. I told you that I have a friend there who is on a fully funded scholarship. But how they came in was during COVID that time. So the GRE score was dropped, was waived. But now I think they are trying to bring the GRE policy back. I don't know. You can email a professor. I don't know if you've done that. Email the professors, tell them about your background, and see if they can waive this nonsense GRE exam for you. Some of them, actually, most of them don't know that these GRE exams are so expensive. I was discussing with my supervisor, and she was like, "Oh, she does not know that it's that expensive in Nigeria. Like, $300 is like, if somebody sees $300 in Nigeria, the person's life is he's gonna be okay, like, because it's a lot of money. So she was like, she didn't know, right? So yeah, so that school I know for sure they might be able to give you, an offer, right? So, but I'm gonna try to bring in other guys for non-STEM so that we don't get to tilt towards just the STEM and the MBA program.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you in advance. So, if I can just have
You're welcome.
someone was saying something. I thought I heard someone say something. Okay.
I hope.
All right. Thank you, everybody who joined the session. Let me just have so you can see this this small girl's face, I think. Right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Smart. Thank you, Mr. Oh, what's his name? Hey, Chineke.
Mr.
Okay, Mr.
Oluwatobi.
Toby. Yes, Oluwatobi. Thank you, everybody. I believe you go value for your time. Yes, and if you really want us to have sessions like this subsequently, please
Ha
follow
ha
us.
ha ha
Follow
ha
us.
ha ha.
Follow us. Follow us.
Peter
Follow
is saying, oh, fine girl, he's blushing. Hey, Peter is blushing. It is well, oh. Some people are not looking for scholarship alone on this group. Oh. I don't know what they are looking for.
It is well.
He said, me self, I be fine boy. So fine boy can meet fine girl, I be. No, Lily.
So, all right. So, do have a wonderful night rest, everybody. And for the rest of you, who, okay, like Smart is, I think this should be about past 4 p.m. for him. So, can still have a wonderful rest of the day. But for those of us in Nigeria here, let's have a wonderful night rest. And everybody do have an amazing time after now. Thank you so much. I remain my humble self. My name is Adile Komposelika Pilat. And I'm not Igbo. Like many people would say, the first time I say, like, are you
Africa,
Igbo? No,
Africa.
not Igbo. Even if I tell someone my name is Kapila, I'm like, no, you don't look like your name. So, okay, thank you and goodbye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you. See you soon in USA.
Yeah.